If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by, and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Collector. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing. Over the past year, Articulated Empire has become your trusted online retailer. They carry all the latest lines like Mythic Legions, Valaverse, AWOC, Zesray Studios, and much, much more. They ship your items quickly and securely. You'll be quite happy with how Steve and his team follow through with their care and attention. Articulated Empire also offers free shipping over $75 and no tax except for Illinois residents. So head over to articulatedempire.com today and build your empire. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to a special edition of Double Jointed. Yeah, no, this isn't an episode of Double Jointed, and we're not necessarily doing a pre-recorded show here. We are doing a pre-record, but this is something special. This is something outside of our regular Double Jointed schedule. So, hey, buddy, how you doing? How's it going?
I'm well. I'm doing good. How are you?
Man, doing well. What you wearing there around your neck?
I'm getting ready, man. I've got the badge from ZoloCon. No, this is I have ZoloCon and I've got LegionsCon 23.
Got mine here. This is my attendee badge from last year of 24. And this is the orange lanyard that I got the year before in 23, because I just really like that color.
I do too. Is it orange on both sides or just one?
Orange on one side, black on the other.
Okay, yeah, because I did mine the reverse. So I've got black, the blue. Yeah, I've got blue on or orange on the side. So we just went opposite.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But yeah, just real quick, since we were going to be talking about LegionsCon today, thought it'd be appropriate to wear our lanyards. Just take you on a quick tour. I got the Ganesha pin. I got the golden Monkey King pin from the retail release. I got the Mask of the Red Death, Frankenstein's monster. I got the super rare, elusive purple pin. I got that regular retail Monkey King, or no, that's the Four Horsemen Monkey King. Got the Shooting the Shelf, and then art by Ackerman.
Nice.
Hope to add the Jersey Devil. This year.
You sure will.
Yours is around your neck. You probably can't.
I've got Shooting the Shelf here. I've got a regular silver Four Horsemen here.
Here comes
Eric
Flex
Miller. I've got, which one's that one?
Just waiting on it.
We've got Keltis right here. D13, my boy Chris. Then I've got
G-Con,
G-Con, thank you. And then we've got Frankenstein, and then I've got Intern up here right by my neck.
Ooh, there it is. That's the one.
Intern right there.
That's that Intern Flex pin. I can get me one off eBay.
For sure. Yeah, you should. For sure.
Get me one off eBay. Well, we're here today to talk to you guys about LegionsCon because someone brought it up to our attention that there are absolutely zero videos on YouTube that's discussing the topic of LegionsCon 101 or LegionsCon for noobs. Also, someone else pointed out in our live stream that there is approximately 7,842,983 and a half videos, because I think one of them is a stories in the topic videos for newcomers. So somewhere in between, there's either none or there's a plethora. Whatever there is, Greg and I decided, hey, it's a good idea. Let's do it. I've been 2 years in a row. You've been 2 years in a row. The other thing is we polled our friends. We polled our chat group buddies, and we said, send us your tips and tricks, your do's, your don'ts, all your little LegionsCon hacks. Bring it all to us. Let us know what's going on, and we'll try to group them together and share all of the comments together. So that's what's going on today. That's what we're doing. So this is LegionsCon 101. All right.
There you go.
Let's just get this ball rolling. Here we go. I'm going to move us over to the side so we don't interrupt this. So if you've never been to LegionsCon before, this is going to be your not even remotely close to being a comprehensive guide. There's going to be so much information that we forget in here that has not been put out, but you know, do your research, watch some videos, but I think we cover the major topics. If there is anything that we don't cover, please ask us in the comments down below. We'll be monitoring them very closely, and either myself or Greg will, jump in and give you all the answers that we possibly can. So let's get cracking. First and foremost, LegionsCon is held every year. It's usually the first weekend in November. It has for the, I mean, I'm assuming since its inception has been held in Whippany, New Jersey.
Mhm.
I don't know that to be completely true. I know they're based in New Jersey, so it's always near their office. And it's so the show, as far as I have been the last 2 years in a row, it has been at the Marriott, um, the Hanover Marriott in Whippany, New Jersey. And it kind of unofficially begins, I guess, Wednesday night. People start like coming in Wednesday night because all day on Thursday, if you've been invited or if you're special studio people, then you get to go to Intern for a Day, which takes place on Thursday. Friday is GCon. That's where it's a live revealing of all like the next big story arc and the next big story arc wave of figures for Mythic Legions that is revealed. So that's like the unofficial kickoff of LegionsCon. You can start picking up badges and things like that on Friday night, but the show itself starts Saturday, runs through Saturday evening, and then is Sunday and runs through Sunday evening or late afternoon. People usually stay through Sunday night and get up and leave out on Monday morning. There's usually like a breakfast. People kind of like gather at the restaurant there or the cafeteria there and eat breakfast together before heading out. But yes, starting Sunday afternoon, you start to see people start to thin out a little bit. But we figured we would just go over some topics for you guys. What are you wanting to know? We're going to start off with weather because this is something that affects me very heavily because I'm in Florida. All right. So I I'm going to be driving to Jacksonville to get on the plane. And when I get on the plane in Jacksonville, uh, it's going to be anywhere from, let's see, that Friday when we fly out, it's gonna be anywhere from 89 degrees to 104. That's what I'm looking at. It could be a nice brisk 89. It could be swelteringly hot. I will usually board the plane in shorts and flip-flops, and then I'll get off in usually I fly into New York. This year I'm flying into Newark, New Jersey. I get off the plane and it's like 40 degrees outside and I'm shivering. And people are like, "Ah, you're from Florida." I'm like, "Yeah, I am." So let's talk about the weather. Last year, the highs during this weekend, the highs were in the 50s, the lows were in the 30s. So plan your wardrobe
Mhm.
accordingly. Okay. It gets cold in Florida, like in our 3 weeks of winter. Cold in Florida and cold in New Jersey. It's a little different. It's a little
Right.
different. But you're well versed on this. You're in Michigan, so you know what cold is like.
Yeah, it's a similar kind of weather, system, as New Jersey. It probably gets colder here and probably snows more here.
Yeah, because of
I
the
think
lakes, I'm sure.
the clothing thing is more of a factor for you guys that are flying because, what you're bringing is what you have. We could have a heavier jacket in our car, boots or whatever in case there's a worse, weather
Yeah.
situation. But it's good to
Ye
have, a varying array of different things. I bring a few pairs of pants and a few shorts. I mostly, default into shorts and a t-shirt and flip-flops within the hospital, within the hotel.
Yeah.
But, it just varies. If you plan on going out, bring some pants with you and a
Yeah.
sweater or jacket.
You may, so this is really gonna depend on whether or not you're staying in the hotel or if you have, like, stayed at a local hotel, and you're driving in every day, and you may have a car outside that you're using as your storage, home base, snack holder, all that kind of stuff, right? So if you're gonna be going in and out of your car, during the day, I can say that it's really cold in the mornings, so I usually wear jeans, shoes, and a zip-up hoodie. I have come to realize the older I get is that a zip-up hoodie is really not enough to keep me warm. So if you're going out to get coffee, if you're going out to Chick-fil-A, if you're going out to grab breakfast or whatever, or if you're driving in, you're going to want to dress warmly. But as the day goes on, as you're in the show floor and you're walking around, there's a lot of people and there's not a lot of space. So that body heat gets trapped. When you're in the hotel throughout the day, you can easily walk around this time of year in shorts and t-shirt. Easily. It gets warm. You're going to get warm inside the hotel. There's a lot of bodies pressed up close by one another. But as the night wears on, if you're leaving, if you're driving away, if you're driving home, or if you're going out to eat dinner, you're going to want to bundle up again. And again, like I say here in this one, if you're not coming from a northern or cold environment, it's always good. It's going to be colder than you expect. Bring jeans, pants, socks, shoes. You don't want to forget socks. Like this gentleman right here, and a light to medium jacket. Jersey winters are cold. They are colder than you expect them to be. So that's all I got to say about the weather. Next up, badges.
Badges.
No. Stinking badges. When can you get your badges? If you're there at G-Con, I'm sure you can get your badges Friday night. I'm sure they stop giving out badges on Friday night at a certain time. For one, our flight is late on Friday. We're not going to be getting into the hotel until probably about 11:30 or midnight. I don't think I'm going to be able to get my badge Friday night, but you can get your badges day of on Saturday or Sunday morning. I do believe the VIP, like all weekend tickets, are they sold out now? You can only buy day of.
I believe so, yeah. He didn't make a big announcement, but I'm pretty sure they're mostly sold out. And so you can
I read that on Facebook. Yeah, you'll buy at the door. That's right. So what does that mean, buy at the door? So what you'll notice is there's a main entrance to the Whippany. You can go in that main entrance if you want. It's going to put you into the lobby and you'll see all the people milling about. It's going to put you in the lobby for the main hotel. Now you got me doing it now. Now I'm saying hospital. But if you're looking at the hotel, you can clearly see what's the main entrance. The last 2 years, the badges table is off to the right, inside the first set of double doors to your right as you're looking at the hotel. So you can see clearly what's the covered drop-off, parking area, what's the front, the main entrance, and then you'll see some double doors. You can go in those double doors if you'd like, and that'll put you right at the badges table. So if you haven't prepaid, or even if you have, that's where you're going to get your badges.
That's right.
Lines. We've heard from a lot of people. There are a lot of lines. There's different lines to get into. So here's the best thing to do. Just get in a line and ask people what line this is. Just ask them, what line is this? The lines are going to be longer than you think they're going to be. And there are people who are waiting to get into, like my first year, there were people who literally slept on the floor to be the first people in line to walk in the door for the first time at LegionsCon. Now, I want you to think about the absurdity of this, right? So they got there, they paid for a hotel room, and instead of sleeping in the bed that they paid for, they slept on the floor in the hallway. Nobody would do this. If you went to a hotel and they were like, hey, we ain't got any rooms, but you could sleep on the floor in the hallway for the same price, you'd be like, are you nuts? I'm leaving. People do that, man. These people are diehard. Our people are diehard. So just ask people what line. So what are the lines? What are they? Let's go over them. There's the main room. Now the main room, Greg, why don't you tell everybody what's in the main room? What are you going to find in the main room?
That's where all the vendors are in. That's the main huge room. That's there's a map of all the vendors in there. So that's the main room where you're gonna find everything.
Your heads, your custom heads,
Yeah.
your painted heads, painted dio pieces,
dios, yeah, everything.
Everything that's mythic related. There's going to be tons of dio people there, dio makers, tons of heads. You're going to have a few retailers that are selling, what they would typically sell at a toy show. So like your Marvel Legends, your Mezcos, your NECAs, you're going to have a few of those. There's not a lot. There's not a lot of those guys that just sell everything, but there's a few. This is where you're also going to find all of the indie toy companies. So your Formo Toys, your
Valiver.
Legendary, Valaverse, AWOC. This is where you're going to find all of those tables. All of that is in the main room. So you just want to ask. Now, last year, I believe it's different. From the map that I've seen, it looks like the line to get into the main room is going to enter into a different door than they did in the years past. I could be wrong about that, but when you get there, you're just going to ask somebody. Maybe somebody you can pull up a map on the Cabal. I'm sure somebody has posted the map. I don't have it here, but you can pull up a map and you can see where everything's located. Now, used to be, and this is why I put this as the next one: main room exclusives. Da 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 da. Okay, so the exclusives are normally sold in the hallway,
Mhm.
the table set up for the exclusive. So if you guys don't know, if you're not really familiar with how this works and how this is laid out, the Four Horsemen Mythic Legions exclusives. Okay, so this year are the male figure for the Crossroads and the female figure for the Crossroads. The Sir Valgard Legacies of Mythos 2 and the second wave, and then Legacies of Mythos Scaffold. Those are your four exclusives. Those will not be sold by the Four Horsemen in the Four Horsemen figure fair room. They are not sold by the Four Horsemen. I'm going to say that again. They're not sold by the Four Horsemen. They're actually sold by Joe the Terry Productions. Joe the Terry is the guy who runs the show, helps them put on the show, promotes the show. That those tables I've seen on the map are now moved into the main room. So it is very possible, but they're also by the double doors. So it's very possible that they will have a line going into the exclusives table and then a separate line for the main room. Okay. So just ask when you get there, is this the line for the exclusives or is this the line for the main room? Because they may not be the same line. In years past, those lines have been different. Okay. Some people want to come in and they want to get those exclusives minute one. They want to be in line to get the exclusives. What we have found, the veterans who've done this for a while now, what we have found is that we know the exclusives are not going to sell out. Like we know this. Like they've ordered a lot. Okay. In years past, they've ordered enough to where they end up on Big Bad Toy Store. Right.
Right.
But hey, more and more people are coming to LegionsCon. There were more people last year than the first year I went. They're expected to have more people this year than last year. So who knows? If you're really concerned about those exclusives, get in that exclusive line first. If not, and you just want to go straight to the other vendors, you want to get in the main room. Now, there's two other experiences here. There is the Four Horsemen Figure Fair. Now, that's just a fancy word for the Four Horsemen store. Okay. There is a whole room dedicated to just the Four Horsemen. Greg, what are you going to find in the Four Horsemen room?
You're going to find a myriad of different Four Horsemen products. You're going to find figure obscura. You're going to find cosmic figures. You're going to find the main Mythic Legions figures. You're going to find hopefully maybe a table drop surprise figure there.
Your
so
pins,
your pins are going to be there.
your
Any kind of
coffee mug,
accessories.
wings, armor packs,
Swag. Yeah.
yeah. Now, in the past, and this is becoming a lot less common, but in the past, specifically 2 years ago, this was crazy. In 2023, when I went, they would pull out right next to the register, right as you were getting to the register, they would open up a case of what they call warehouse finds. It might be a case of figures from wave 2 or wave 3 or wave 4, and they're just selling them at regular prices. But I believe as they empty out their warehouse, that's becoming less and less common. So if you're expecting to go in, and I almost saw none of those figures last year. So if you're expecting to go in and find figures from wave 2 and wave 3 and wave 4, I think they're pretty much
Not. Yeah, probably not.
clearing out at this point. They've pretty much cleared out their warehouse. So I think that's becoming less and less common. You're going to be finding pretty much everything that's available now. So everything probably, how far back do you think they're going to go? It's probably as far back as All Stars Wave 5
Yeah, All
boxes.
Stars, maybe reinforcements a little bit. I doubt it. But yeah, probably Poxus, Necronominus, All Star 6.
Yeah, you're going to be able to find everything that's current for Cosmic, everything that's current for Poxus, and on forward. It'll all be there. Horses, regular figures, deluxe, wings, um, weapons packs, magic effects packs, hands packs,
Yes.
weapons packs. You're going to be able to find all of that. That's in what they call the figure fair. If there is a table drop, a surprise figure. Now, I think this happened for the very first time 2 years ago at 23. That was when they dropped the Valiant Knight figure. And that was, I think they had just shown off. I don't know if they had just shown off at GCon or maybe it had already been revealed, but that's when they had revealed the Necronominus wave and the All Stars wave 6. So they had already created that slimmer body that the tunics were going to sit over with the better articulation. And they give us a preview of that in the Valiant Knight, which was a surprise drop at the table. Last year, I think they had shown off, what was it, the Reign of the Beasts? And then the table drop was the Ninian soldier, the snake. So it has, in the past 2 years, the surprise table drop has been closely tied to something they have revealed, and this is usually the first time you're getting your hands on it. And that's really cool. It's like a sneak preview of something that's coming a year, 18 months down the road. But as Curtis likes to remind us, it is expected, but it is not guaranteed.
Right.
So we can expect a surprise table drop, just because 23 had one, 24 had one. We can expect there would be one, but we're not guaranteed one. We don't know what the Four Horsemen have up their sleeves. They like to keep us guessing. So we don't know.
Leave a little bit in your budget for at least one, just in case.
I have earmarked a $100 because I am just betting that there's going to be one, and I'm going to want 2 of them, because I bought 2 Valiant Knights, I bought 2 Ninians, so I've got an extra 100 squirreled away just in case it's rocking, and it usually is rocking. And then the other line you can get into is, I might have left one out because I believe that there is the community room, right? That's where they have like the Glios and all that kind of stuff, the t-shirts. That's where you
That's
get
gonna be within the armory experience in that room.
that's in the okay. So then there's the armory experience. So like I was just saying, this is where probably Nate Barch is going to be set up selling paintings or prints of his work. This is where Trevor's going to be set up selling his wares, his prints of his work. D13, I think, is set up in there. Your Glios compatible lines are all going to be set up in there. But there's the armory experience line. Now, last year, they did tickets. They said, we're going to give out tickets, and when they're gone, they're gone. And, you can build 2. Last year it was Knights. This year it's the Gladiators. And so you can do, I don't think they're going to do tickets. I think they found out that people were respectful of the time frame. People were not taking forever. The guys, Joe and Greg, were doing a really good show, a really good, they were really good at like helping people pick out the parts and pieces and keep it moving. And so I don't think they're going to do tickets this time. I think they're just going to line up and do it. As a matter of fact, out of all of these 4 options, the armory experience is where I'm going first. And the reason we're doing this, the reason I'm going to do this is because I really want to build some gladiators. And last year, by Saturday evening, Sunday morning, some of the gladiator parts were gone. I mean, some of the knight parts were gone. The greens, the reds, and definitely the blacks they're starting to go. And so I think I'm going to jump into the armory experience first. What about you?
Smart.
Where are you lining up for first?
I will always do the figure fair. I love the store. I love to go in there first. Not trying to flex or brag or anything, but I've got intern again, so I will have advantage of getting my armories before the show starts. Intern is an experience for people that are not knowing what that is. That's basically a lottery system, somewhat, where people are able to enter into a drawing and are able to go on Thursday before LegionsCon to visit the studio and have kind of a tour of the thing. And then they have an actual working armory experience where you can build your armory figures there. So
You guys get to see Eric like sculpt something live. You get to see the people like painting the stuff. You get a little 3D bust of a character and you get to paint that up and keep it. And
Mhm.
yeah, it's a full day, right?
Yes, yeah, it's like 10 to 5, I think.
And if you're the adventurous type, if you like to live on the edge like Greg here, you can venture into the warehouse where they will run you out.
They will run you out. They'll grab you by your scruff and tell you, "Get out." There's
They
stuff in
did they
here
stop
that
you and they were like, don't go back. Don't go
yeah,
any further.
Corn Boy was taking me on a tour and didn't think about it, and he started to take me over, and I had asked later what was there, and I think it was, Ghost of Christmas Past is
Oh,
there,
okay.
and so they didn't want me to see those boxes, so they told me to turn around and, head back where all the other people were, so, but,
Yeah.
yeah, if you ever get a chance, it's a wonderful experience if you're a new fan of Mythics, that's definitely something you wanna check out.
Yeah, absolutely. So those are the 4 lines. The main room and the exclusive lines are going to be on your left when you head down the hallway,
Mhm.
and then the figure fair and your armory experience rooms are on your right. So just know if you're lined up along the left side, you're probably in the main room or the exclusives line. If you're lined up on the figure fair or the right side, you're probably in the figure fair or the armory experience. Just ask where you are. People are very polite. They'll help you get to the right place wherever you wanna be. Man, now you've got me wondering, maybe now I'll just do figure fair and then immediately go to the armory because 'cause you're not gonna sell out those parts that fast, but
No, they won't.
okay. Alright, next up, clothing. Clothing. We kinda went over this a little bit, in, the what to wear, but this one was sent in by our good friend Heinrich. Wear comfortable clothes and shoes. The hotel is not big, but you will be standing and walking more than you will be sitting.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's say that you want to the lines, like I said, some people are lined up at 11:30 midnight the night before. I typically am an early riser at the show. I like to get up around 5:30, 6 o'clock. I like to have already had my breakfast or my coffee and then come down and then I will come down and I will probably more than likely be sitting on the floor waiting because that's you're waiting until what 8 a.m., 9 o'clock
Mhm.
before the show starts, before you can get in. You're not after that, there's not a lot of sitting unless you're in the lobby or it's after hours. So
Right.
yeah, wear comfortable shoes. I like to let the dogs breathe. I like my flip flops, but I think this year I might wear some closed-toed, more comfortable.
Yeah? For real? I got
Well,
some,
I had some Hey Dudes I think I'm gonna
those are nice too, those are nice too. My wife got me a new pair of flip-flops I'm wearing now that have kind of an arch. They're like, an expensive pair of fine sandals that have, arch support so you can wear them longer, so
there you go. Yeah, you definitely wanna because you're gonna be on your feet a lot.
it'll be a
But
comfort.
again, if you already have your rooms first of all, let's get that out of the way. There are no more rooms left for the show. So, unless somebody you know is, like, canceling right now, you're not gonna be able to stay at the Whippany. They sell out. Literally, the blocks go up like when in like late March, early April, and they're sold out by then usually. Like when they go up, people
Yeah, it
pre-order
was
their
like a
rooms.
week, I think, this year that they sold out. Wasn't it like the first
Yeah,
week?
I got really lucky. I think I called in like mid-February or late February, early March, and I called and I was like, "Hey, can I book a room for LegionsCon?" And they were like, "Yep." And so I booked it for that weekend, and they didn't realize they weren't supposed to book it at that time.
I was afraid
They
to do
weren't
that.
released. Yeah, but I got them, and I even
You're a
double
renegade,
checked.
man. You're a renegade.
Yeah, I live on the edge. Okay, so yeah, I would definitely layer. So, like we said, it's gonna be really cold in the mornings and colder in the evenings. So, yeah, you definitely want to wear like a I love hoodies. I have a zip up hoodie. It's right here. I pretty much wear it all the time. Uh, I'm gonna bring something like that to where like I can like put it on if I get cold, take it off when I get warm, throw it in my backpack, whatever. So yeah, clothing. Think Heinrich. Next up, we have food. Okay, so let's talk about this. Heinrich says if you have a car, okay, so if you have access to a car, you can go locally to Wegmans. If you don't know what Wegmans is, Wegmans is one of the coolest grocery stores I've ever been in.
It's very nice. Massive.
It's literally across the street from the hotel. I wouldn't say that it's in walking distance because of the way the hotel is situated in like this kind of weird intersection with exit ramps. It's not like you could just walk across the street, but it's like a 3 or 4 minute drive. It's like across
Yeah.
the interstate highway, whatever.
Yeah, they're kind of interstates that go in different directions.
Right. It's a weird intersection. And again, walking, it's dangerous. People, yeah, you don't walk across the street. But what Wegmans has is not only are they a full service grocery store, but they also have like a burger
Mhm.
like buffet area, like a grill. There's like a grill in there. There's like a salad bar place. There's a like Chinese place.
Mhm.
There's all kinds of different
Salad
foods.
bar.
Right? It almost has like a food court feel to
Yes.
it when you walk in. So you can either go into this food court and eat. And yeah, you go in there on Wednesday, Thursday, early on Friday. Yeah, people are in there. I like to go there, stock up, get my drinks, get my snack bars, whatever I'm going to eat. I don't eat a lot. So, whatever I'm going to eat. And then I like to buy that and just have it in the room. I don't like to going back and forth, like grabbing food. Right down the road, there is a Dunkin', a Chick-fil-A. Keep in mind, this does take place on a Saturday and a Sunday. Sundays, Chick-fil-A is closed, so you're not going to find any place. Don't get up at Sunday morning and say, I'm going to go down to Chick-fil-A and get some coffee. No, you're not. Um, there's not a lot of other restaurant options right around because this place is kind of in the middle of nowhere. A lot of woods. There's not it's not a lot around there in quick. So no car. Heinrich says DoorDash, Uber Eats if you don't want to eat at the pub. So let's talk about on-site food. Why don't you talk about the pub and the cafeteria that they have there?
Sure.
About Marriott.
I drive, so I do bring an ice chest and snacks so I can, have my room stocked up. If there's something I forget or something that I need, I do go to Wegmans if I need to. But I like to stay within the hotel as much as I can. There is a restaurant. Well, it's more like a morning, like a breakfast kind of thing. I don't know if they have lunch in there. Do you know that or not?
I don't know if it's just breakfast, but I think it might be breakfast and lunch. I'm not
Okay.
sure. Somebody can correct me down in the comments, but I know they serve breakfast there. It is a little
Really nice.
cafe area.
I think it's like $20, all you can eat breakfast buffet, and it's really high end. They've got fresh fruits, people to help you, unlimited juice, which is great. They've got good coffee from what I've heard. Really, really nice breakfast situation. They do have a coffee bar that you don't even have to go in. It's kind of near the lobby area, where you can get coffee if you just want that, or water or tea or whatever. They've got a little station there.
Yeah, they do have a little pop-up shop that happens in the lobby,
Right.
and they will have breakfast. So they'll have croissants or biscuits and sausage, little like on-the-go breakfast, fruit, bowls of cereal, things like that, like dry things, um, and then like milk, coffee, juice. But that all costs money. And I think in the past, right? Like I don't know if they take cards out there. It might be cash only
I think it is
at
cash only, I think.
in the lobby.
And they also have
They do that same thing for lunch there as well, right, yeah.
right. And then there's the pub, which is right when you walk into the lobby on your right-hand side. And
Alright.
a lot of people go there. It can get packed. There could be up to an hour wait during
Mhm.
busy times.
Especially if you're gonna sit with, like, 15 of your friends and be like, "Hey, we're all gonna sit together." Okay.
Yeah, and there is a bar, so you can eat at the bar if you want to, but the food is phenomenal. I've never had a bad meal there.
Yeah, it really is really
Great
good.
staff and stuff, so I recommend it, and it does have late hours, so
Right.
it's a nice place. A lot of people go there. I recommend it. I like to meet there with some friends. It's at least once.
Yeah, I think we all try to eat there at least once Saturday night, whatever, have a big meal there.
Worth the wait.
It's really good.
Good food.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up, prioritize, prioritize,
Mhm.
prioritize. From our boy Terrence. Uh, have a plan of what's most important to you. Exclusives, armory, customs. prioritize, hit that first. Heinrich also says, what are the highlights and priorities, the highest priorities for you? Is it the 4-H shop, the exclusives, 3D printed heads, parts, dios, hard to find figures, indie figure companies? That's from Heinrich. So basically the idea here is Heinrich even went so far as to share, well, this makes perfect sense coming from Heinrich because he works in logistics. He's a planner. He likes his charts, very analytical. He shared with me in our chat, like his map, like he color codes the map of tables he wants to hit, tables he needs to miss. Like he knows what tables have the things that he's already like pre-purchased or prepaid for, or like he's like, that's not unheard of because like I'm kind of the meander kind of person. I like to go in the room and I will go like all the way down an aisle and then come all the way down that aisle again on the other side and then go back down that. So I kind of like I just make sure, like, I'm more of a lawnmower cutting the grass kind of guy. Right. It's going to go back and forth methodically all the way across and hit everything. But your first time through, you're not going to see everything. There's going to be stuff you miss.
They're going to be overwhelmed.
Some people put out stuff. They hold stuff back on for Sunday. So you may go and see somebody's table. Go see it again later on during the day. They may have put out new stuff. They may have put out stuff for Sunday on the next day. So yeah, so prioritize. You definitely want to do anything that you don't want to come home without. You want to do that first because you may, and I've had this happen too. Like if you see something at a table, you come by and you see a beautiful head, like, and it's beautifully painted. And you're like, man, that's fire. I need that. I'd go ahead and get it because the chances of you coming back in an hour and it still being there, I mean, it's 50-50. It's very risky.
Yeah, definitely have a strategy of things that you can't go home without and get those first. Definitely the things that are made by the vendors in the main hall. That is stuff that is one of a kind. So I've seen some people reach out ahead of time and pre-buy if you can. If not, get there ASAP and secure those. And just have in mind the things that are exclusives. Those you may not be able to find again. So if those are what you're interested in, grab those first. That way you can relax. That's what I do is I'll go to the places that I prioritize. I want this first. I'm going to get that first. Once I'm done, I'll take it up to the room. I'll be able to go. And I wanted to say also too, it's fun to go with different people. So I'll say, hey, Mark, let's walk the main hall. And then we'll walk the main hall and I'll go with Mark and see what he sees. And, whatever he picks up, I'll check out. And then later, as somebody else, hey, Heinrich, are you going to walk? Yeah. Well, then we'll walk the hall together. And so just multiple runs of and you'll see new things. You'll see different things. Just going once is not enough. You need to go a few times. And really have your head on a swivel because there's so much going on.
I know the first year I really wanted some of Eric Miller's Medusa heads. He was going to have some painted. And I don't remember how many he brought. It wasn't a lot. I want to say 6, 7, maybe less than 10 that he brought. And I think I went by midday on Saturday and was like, do you have any? There you go. Let me embiggen you.
No, it's not painted though. It's just primed, but yeah.
Right.
You have an Eric Miller one?
That's the one. Yeah. And I went by and I want to say that they were like, I don't remember, dude, like 60 or so. And I went by and they were like all gone. And I was just broken hearted. I was like, man, I should have come here first. Cause his stuff went very, very fast. I know that this is, we're going to touch on that later. Cause that's going to come back up later. I was going to say something about painted heads, but it's going to come back up. Okay. FOMO is your enemy. Okay. All right. FOMO is your enemy. Don't freak out if you don't get everything you want. There will be more opportunities to get it later through Big Bad Toy Store, after the con, or at storehorseman.com in February. The con exclusives are going to be on Big Bad Toy Store because, like I said, they're not from Four Horsemen. They're Jovatary Productions. And then standard versions of those, or what we call like the retail versions of those, will be out on an in-stock sale. That's what ISS stands for, later in the year, from Terrence. So what is he talking about here? So why don't I take the exclusives and you take the armory experience?
Sure.
Okay. So let's say that because the way the exclusives are done this year, one male exclusive makes one of two different types of figures, right? It either makes like the warrior or it makes what's the other, I forgot
A
what their
revenant.
exact
The revenant.
revenant, right? So you can make one of two different styles of characters with one male package. You can't make two, you can only make one, but it comes with all the parts to make both, right? So you're going to want to buy two of those. Same thing with the female exclusive, right? The nymph and the
Fairy.
whatever. Yeah, I don't
Churl?
remember.
I think it's churl.
A churl, right? Same thing with her. It comes with the parts to make two, but you can but the body only for one. So you're going to want to get two of those, right? But let's say your budget doesn't allow for that, right? So you want two of each, but you can only get one of each. That's fine. Go ahead and get one of each. Don't um don't let FOMO take over, right? For that, because any of the exclusives that they have left over will go up on Big Bad Toy Store. Now, anecdotally in 23 and in 24, there were tons of exclusives left over and a bunch went up on Big Bad Toy Store. I say tons. I really don't know how many. It seemed like there was a lot, but I don't really know numbers. I don't have no inside information, right? But there are more people coming, right? So maybe this year there won't be tons, but I'm pretty sure that if there's any extras left over, just like the Sir Valgard and the Scaphoid, right? So they are coming with exclusive show parts that you can only get at the show. If those do not sell out, those will also go up on Big Bad Toy Store later on. Will they be marked up in price? I have no idea. Okay. Are there going to be a ton for everybody to grab? I have no idea. It may be a limited number. They may sell out very fast. But the other thing to keep in mind is that all four of those exclusives, the male Crossroads figure, the female Crossroads figure, Sir Valgard, and Scaphoid, will all be released later next year, spring, summer, whenever, in an in-stock sale by Four Horsemen. Okay. So if you don't get one, do not freak out. Like Terrence says here, this is a great tip. Do not freak out. You'll have an opportunity later. Now, Greg, why don't you knock out the armory experience and what they're doing later in the pre-builds?
Sure. Excuse my dog. I don't know if you guys can hear her snoring. She is snoring so loud behind me. It's like an old man. Anyways, I apologize for that. I did want to add on to something that Mark said, that the exclusive Crossroads figures do come with exclusive heads that aren't available for sale in the retail versions, which are
Right.
a kind of a streamlined version of the exclusive. It's a different package and everything, but there is heads that come with these con exclusive figures.
Right. They're
So
green, neon green heads that go on the Scaphoid to make
and then
more different Scaphoids. And
then
then, right. And then, but those would be in any leftovers that went up on Big Bad Toy Store.
Yes.
But when the in stock sale happens on Four Horsemen, they won't be in those sets at all.
right.
Good point.
Yeah, but you can usually find anything that you're looking for in the community as well. So, be informed about what is coming, what is going, what you won't have easy access to, and make your decisions based on that. So the
And if there's something you've missed out on, real quick, if there's something you've missed out on, if you're on Facebook, if you haven't, banned Facebook from your life, get on there and join the cabal.
Yes.
Ask around in the cabal. You're going to get a better price from somebody in the cabal, usually, than if you go straight to eBay. You go to eBay, people don't care. They're going to ask 3 times the amount, whatever. But in the cabal, I don't think anybody's really going to try to take advantage of you in the cabal. And there are, and you and I both know people who go and they buy 10, 20, 30 of a figure, whatever, and they will have extra parts for sale later. So.
Right. Absolutely. So the armory, this is the second year. The first year it was knights. So it's basically you're building your own character with a myriad of different pieces. So they're very
This year, Gladiators.
This year's gladiators. So they made sure to let us know what parts are exclusive to the Armory experience and what are not. And so at the beginning, I think, of next year, they're going to have a retail package of or it's going to be an all-in of a bunch of the different pre-build gladiators, and then you'll also be able to buy individuals of these pre-builds. Now, the exclusive stuff is the ones that don't have those parts, or there's exclusive parts that you can only get at the Armory, and so those are the ones that people are going to scramble to get. That's something that we learned last year, in that you won't see those parts again. They won't sell them. They won't, there's no bucket of parts that you can buy. I think they did have they did have like mystery boxes, so they might do that again. Mystery boxes for parts, where it'll be like one chest, one legs, one arms, one head. You just don't get to pick. So
Yeah.
just be aware with the Gladiator Armory experience that you probably won't get a chance again to get those parts that are exclusive. So shop accordingly.
Yeah, so basically this year, there are, I believe, is it 6 or 7 different skin tones? There's a light skin, a dark skin, green, red, white, and then like a bluish, blackish gray
Yeah,
color,
right.
right? Am I missing one?
No, I don't think so. I think that
All right, so there's 6, right? So in the pre-builds, they're going to release a 6-pack with all 6 skin tones, and they're going to release a individual gladiator that's pre-built, one of each of the skin tones. So if there's a skin tone in particular that you miss out on this year, like if you build, let's say you build 6, but you don't build one of every color, or you can only build 4, or you can only build 2, you could then later on in the pre-build sale, in the in-stock sale, you could buy the pre-build, you could buy the skin tone bodies that you've missed out on.
Mhm.
So you'll be able to. Yeah, I've used the builder, which I'll put a link, since we're doing this and recording it, pre-recording it. I'll put a link down below right now for the gladiator builder that our friend Jeff and Kirby helped put together, and you can go there and sort of plan out your builds prior to going. I've already got all of mine planned out. I'm doing 6. I've got them printed out in color, and I'm almost exclusively picking up exclusive parts because I am going to buy a pre-built all-in
Sure.
6-pack or 7-pack, whatever, later on. So that way I'll get as many parts as possible. So yeah, that's something that, so listen, this is going to come up again later. We're going to talk about it more in a little bit, but FOMO is your enemy. Don't worry. All of the exclusive stuff will be made available in some form later on down the road.
Absolutely.
Okay, next up, what do we have? Money, money, money. Probably the biggest topic, probably the biggest question that everybody, even people who have gone before, because this kind of changes year to year, because your priorities change and what you're looking to buy changes year to year. Money, 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 money. So everybody had a comment about money. So let's go through here. Andy says, bring more money than you think you'll need. Yep.
Mhm.
Heinrich says, bring as much cash as you can. Yep. This is really good for a number of reasons. Number one, if a vendor is having trouble getting their, cashless payment or touchless payment to work, or swipe card reader to work, it's always good to have cash. Number two, another good thing about having cash is that you can usually get a deal. Something maybe $35 because they have to swipe your card, and then they're going to charge tax, and there's going to be like a card swipe fee or whatever. Whereas if you're paying cash, you're not going to have that. So if you can get out some of this money and bring it as cash, that's a really good thing to do. You could maybe get a deal that way. Also, if you bring all of your money in cash, like I did the first year, yes, it does make traveling a little scarier. But hey, when your cash is gone,
You know what you got?
stops,
Yeah, you know what you
right?
got.
Like shopping's over, right? So Curtis says, do not overextend yourself financially. There is some great stuff to see and buy at LegionsCon, but don't put yourself in a bad spot by spending more than you can afford. Absolutely couldn't agree more, Curtis. And then I'm going to throw in something else that people may not think about. If you are flying, like me, I fly over here. You need to factor in enough money for shipping your products back home again. Uh, that's something that people usually don't think about. Now, this is just anecdotal. It's just me and my experience. But the first year, I think I purchased probably about 25 to 30 things for myself and for other people back home. I shipped all of that home. I used, I believe, the first year I used FedEx. I shipped everything out. It cost me about $164. This past year, I must have purchased roughly around the same because this year we went to UPS, or last year we went to UPS, just to see if it was any cheaper, and it cost me about $165 to ship everything home. Now, either I just really calculated it pretty spot on, or I just got lucky. I'm not sure, but this year I am allowing myself a budget of at least 175 for shipping because it costs a lot to send a big, heavy box of your stuff back home again.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
there's both a FedEx and a UPS store close by within driving distance to ship things out, especially if you're leaving on Sunday. If you fly out on Sunday and you have to go somewhere on Sunday to ship your stuff out, if you have the advantage of staying through Monday, then I'm sure you could find a local post office and ship your stuff home. It may take longer, but it also might be cheaper. Now, both years when I've shipped my stuff home, I leave on like Sunday or Monday. I've shipped on Sunday. My stuff was home on Wednesday. So 3 days later, I had all of my stuff. And I typically open one figure and throw it in my bag and take it with me for the long ride back into the city or waiting at the airport to mess around with or on the plane. I typically bring one figure like in my carry-on with me. So what about you? Like, you want to talk about money? Like, what do you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, you did say when you're carrying around cash, you do get a deal maybe sometimes. It doesn't hurt to, throw out a number. Don't insult the vendor or anything, but if they're asking 35, say, would you do 30? They're not going to be insulted unless you really lowball them, but you never know
Right.
until you ask, and
Or
save
if you're
yourself.
buying two of something.
Right.
Yeah, that works too. Like, you got 35 on this one and 40 on this one. Would you take 35 for
Or
both?
get
Or
a
would you
bundle.
take,
Get a bundle
or
deal.
35 for each one or whatever? Yeah, bundle it up. That definitely helps. I don't mind sharing my budget because I know people ask all the time, well, how much money do you take with you? How much do you take? Um, I the first year I took about $1,500 to spend. Last year I took less than that. I took 1,000. This year I'm taking about 1,200. That's about it. I would like to say that I am probably on the low end of what I see. Like, you can see some people walking around with boxes of
Right.
stuff.
Right.
You'll see people walking around with a flatbed like they're at Sam's, wheeling stuff out, or a Dottie, or a rolling cart behind them, and they will just have tons and tons and tons of stuff.
Yeah.
So I am sure there are people that go and spend a lot more that would probably tell you $1,000 is like, I'll spend $1,000 in 5 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
they may say that. I don't know. I feel like I come away with everything I want for that amount of money. That's
Yeah.
just,
That's what
my wife would say that's way too much, but I think
yeah.
I'm on the
Well,
lower end
it's
of
once
things,
a
I
year.
think.
It's once a year. But, like Curtis says, don't get yourself into trouble. Get the things that you want for sure. If you walk away with the things that you want and you don't get everything, you're not crushed. You got some bangers, you're happy, you go home, you still got a couple dollars in your bank account.
Yeah.
Don't go crazy. Mine varies. I usually spend, around and I separate it. I'm like, okay, this is hotel, this is food, and then this is toys. So I make
Yes.
sure that I've got money or gas to get home on. I'm like, I don't want to wish that, oh man, I wish I hadn't, spent, all this money and now I have no gas. So I make sure that I have it kind of separated and not pooled together, so that I don't accidentally spend something that I really need. But, I usually about 12 or 1,300. I did my budget, I figured out all the figures that I know about, that I wanted, and it came out to about 960. So that's a doable, that's an acceptable, but I'm being realistic and thinking, "This is only what I know about." So, if there's stuff that, I don't know about, then that's gonna add more to it, and so I do have a little bit extra just in case for situations like that, because you don't want to be so rigid that it's like I don't want to look at anything else. I don't want to, you want to have fun and enjoy it and look. Like I said, get the things that you want, get the exclusives that you want, that you're gonna be like, okay, I got these. I can breathe, I can relax. I got this stuff for the friends that needed stuff. I'm okay now. Everything's good. Let's just walk and enjoy. If I see something, if oh, what is this? I see something here. There's a lot of extra stuff that maybe, like, there might be some old mythics. There might be a Marvel Legends figure that you've wanted, or Mafex or whatever, that might be there. You never know. So, kind of factor in the mystery too of not knowing what might be there. That way, you have a little extra, you can get it.
Yeah, what I do, like you did as well, I've made a budget of what I know.
Mhm.
What I know that I am purchasing. I have written down everything that I have wanted that I know that Four Horsemen are putting out. I've allotted money for the table drop in case there is one. Um, I've allotted money for the Valaverse exclusives because I know that they're going to have one. I want to get two of those. I've allowed money for Emil's book because I'm getting Emil's book of tributes, his photography book of tributes. I've accounted for the amount of money that I'm going to spend at the armory. Like I'm going to build the armory, six of those. They're 45 a piece. Like I've accounted for everything, and then I have earmarked, probably $200 to $300 in, like, that's what I know I'm gonna spend, and then the other money is just like, these are incidentals. These are, "Oh, that's a really cool head. I can't leave here without it,"
Right.
or,
Yeah.
"Oh my
Right.
god, like, I didn't know that Valaverse was gonna have, like, these older figures out, and here's one that I needed, and now here it's a regular show price, and Imma grab that," and, like you have to leave yourself some wiggle room, but it is really good to make yourself a budget. They always say, "Do not go grocery shopping when you're hungry, because you will buy more than you actually need."
Right.
This is the epitome of going to the grocery store when you're hungry.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna get here, yeah, you're gonna just be like you're in Guy's Grocery Games. You're just gonna be, like,
Yes.
grabbing everything off the, like, you want one of everything. So, make yourself a budget, do yourself a favor and stick to it as much as possible, and then take that amount of money plus a little bit of incidental, and I don't, like, if you do that and you stick to that, I don't think you'll come away with, "Oh, man, I can't believe I dropped 500 extra on my card. I shouldn't have done that." I don't even bring my credit card, by the way, like, just so that I can't, like, I don't even fly there with it. Like, I leave it at the house.
You're smarter than me. I'm taking
Drive
mine.
2.5 hours away, fly, take a plane. I don't even bring it on the trip,
You smart man.
because I'm like, "No way." Like, there's no way. I'm not putting anything on my card. Alright, so money, money, money. I think if you
Very
have any other
important.
questions about it, please hit us up. We'll check them out in the chat. I think we covered money. Take your time. Andy says, take your time and go at your own pace. And then Terrence says, no matter what, prepare to miss stuff. So revisiting things multiple times, and you are likely to see new things. Absolutely. Um, Now,
Definitely have a
something we
plan.
haven't, yeah, yeah. If you have a plan, you can definitely do this. Definitely take your time and spend time at each booth. You're gonna see, if you get a booth that's got a ton of heads, take your time and check out each one of them. You may have overlooked something in all of the craziness and all of the chaos. Be sure to check out all of the indie toy companies that are going to be there, like Legendary and Formo and like Plunderlings. They're going to have a
Mhm.
bunch of new product at their booth, and AWOC, Valaverse. Like, check out all the tables.
Fresh monkey fiction.
See, oh, yeah, Fresh Monkey Fiction's gonna be there, yeah, absolutely, I keep forgetting about that. They have an exclusive. I need to add it to my budget
Mhm.
because as of yet, I haven't. That's gonna cut into my incidentals.
Yep.
Uh, definitely, take your time, go at your own pace. I am somebody that I have to have my naps, And as you know, I will
do.
even last year when I didn't have a room at Marriott, we stayed with some friends about 30 minutes away. I snuck into your room and took a nap. Like I was like, I am going to get my nap. So you got to be able to recharge and don't burn yourself
Right,
out. Don't
right.
do it all at
It's a
once.
marathon.
Yeah, you've got all day Saturday, all day Sunday. Take your
Yes.
time.
Plus,
You
I
don't want
want
to miss anything.
I want to add too that once the show is over, then that's like
Mm,
second gear. So
hmm
once the doors close, the vendors get their time to go and enjoy the action figure armory and the figure fair, and then after that, then everyone just they relax. They're not in sell mode. They're in visit mode. They're in party mode. They're in lobby hangout conversation mode. So you want to be able to be awake and alert and ready for that. So if that means taking a nap or two in the afternoon, have a plan. Say, you know what, I'm gonna hit action figure armory. I'm gonna hit, I'm gonna have breakfast with Mark, and then I'm gonna go to see some friends vendor booths, and then I'm gonna take a nap. I'm gonna take a nap for an hour or so, refresh, recharge, take a shower if you need it. You know, just spend some time with your partner. Make sure that they are have their needs are taken care of and they're happy and not angry that you're coming back broke and defeated and so do things like that. But it like I said, it's a long day, it's a long night, and you want to enjoy and be there for all of it. So make sure that you've got a nap, and like Andy says, take your time, go at your own pace, but make sure you experience. This is a once a year thing, so make sure you're there for it. You want to.
Enjoy it
Yeah,
because w it's that after anybody who does like, if you've ever experienced the after con blues, yeah, that's gonna start setting in on Sunday evening when everybody starts leaving and you're hugging people out and they're going and, it's like Christmas morning after all the presents have been opened and you're cleaning up the trash and you're
papers
putting
everywhere.
daggers and stuff and yeah, you're like, "Man, that was fun," but now it's all over,
Oh,
you know, and you have to wait another 362 more days before we do this again, like
right.
so take your time and enjoy it. There's some other things I want to say about that, but it's gonna come again later. So I'm just gonna hold it for then. Um, this is all about a part of it. Mingle, 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 mingle. Greg, this is one of yours. You're like, step out of your
Yes,
comfort
for
zone
sure.
and mingle.
That's
Right,
how I
and
met
date
you.
for us.
That's how I met you. I know it's hard to. Some people are kind of introverted and they don't really want to, you know, kind of be the one to go and be aggressive. But sometimes you just go up and be friendly. I guarantee you, people are going to greet you and be friendly and, "Hey, is this your first time you've been here? What did you pick up today?" Just something like that, an icebreaker is all it's gonna take. Now me and Mark are brothers. Like, all it took was just a few words of, "Hey, what do you got there?" And, "Come sit down and hang out, and let's talk." And before you know it, we're best bros and we've got,
Yeah.
different shows and stuff. So you're gonna find a lot of great people here. Just mingle, be yourself. You don't have to pretend to be the cool guy or anything like that. There is no cool guys. We're all the same. Just be yourself.
You're gonna see the 4 horsemen
Yes.
that you're gonna see them in the lobby sitting there talking with people. You're gonna see Cornboy and Eric walking around the show floor, like you're gonna bump into them. I just randomly bumped into Cornboy last year, and was talking to him about he had on the Frankenstein's monster shirt. And it was right after the Frankenstein's monster had been solicited, and we were talking about that figure. You're gonna run into him. Andy says if you see someone, talk to them because you may not see them again. This happens quite a bit. I'll see, like last year, you see Robo or Toy Bro, and you're like, hey, I want to talk with them. But, maybe they've got 2 or 3 people around. Well, don't crowd them. Don't like, be all up, in the business trying to fight. That's just kind of crazy to like, bombard somebody. They're just regular people, just like us. If you just stand patiently, quietly by, talk to them. They're just like us. They're here for the
Absolutely.
same reasons. They're just toy collectors, just like we are, even though they have a following. But talk to them because you may not get a chance again. Terrence says, be social, talk to people, be open to chat, feel free to ask questions. Absolutely. Like, everybody's there to help you. It's so
Right.
friendly. Like, you have a question about something, just ask. I always say, if you're a homebody and prefer solitude, step out of your comfort zone and mingle, grab a figure and just walk up to somebody and start talking to them about what they're holding, share your figure. Again, we're all here for the same reason. It's exactly how you and I met. I came with somebody the first year that, once the shopping was done, just wanted to stay in the room. And I'm also somebody who, I am an extrovert and an introvert at the same time. I'm both, right? I draw comics and I go to a lot of conventions every year. When I'm behind the table and I'm selling my books and I'm drawing for people and I am meeting people, my wife will tell you I am Mark, but I am crunk up to 11. But when that show is over, right? Like, when that show is over, the carnival barker in me, like that wild, crazy life of the party dude, that switch gets flipped and I am instantly an introvert. I don't want to talk. I don't want to go out with people. I don't want to hang out with people. Me and my wife go somewhere quiet. We have a quiet dinner. We're quiet the rest of the evening. I am My social battery gets drained and it hits zero. And when it runs out, like, dude, I need quiet. But what happened was I was sitting in the room and the guy I came with was sitting in the room watching like History Channel or something. And and I was like, "Do you want to go down and hang out in the lobby?" And he's like, "Nope, watching History Channel." And I was like, "I can watch History Channel 362 days out of the year, 3 days out of the year. I am going down." So I grabbed, I think it was the 2-pack from the exclusive the year before, the Fearsome Foursome 2-pack, whatever it was. And I just was like wandering around in the lobby. I didn't know. I mean, recognized people from YouTube or the
Right.
Cabal or whatever. I recognized people, but I didn't know anyone. The only person I knew was up in the room. And I just walked by your table and you're like, "Hey, what you got there? Sit down and talk with me." And I was like, "Who is this dude in like this bright colored poncho? You're wearing like this big, uh, this big colored poncho," and I just sat down and it was like instantaneously, it was like love at first sight. We knew, it was like, I just knew. I was like, I met a brother that I might actually be related to. And it was all because I stepped out of my comfort zone. I didn't stay in my room and I came down and I mingled. And that's literally what it's like. Dude, last year, I remember standing in the lobby and I was talking with somebody. I was posted up. I think I was letting my phone charge and I was talking with somebody and they walked away. And I was just standing there, and out of nowhere, Jared, Toy Bro, he just walked right up to me. He's like, "Hey man, how's it going?" And I was like, I was blown away. Like, he and I have talked before, like we've run into each other, but we are by no means like friends. Like, I've had him on Meet the Collector, and that was really cool. We've gotten to know each other a lot better now, but at the time I didn't know him. And he just walked up and wanted to chat. And I was like, I can't believe he literally walked over here just to talk with me. And then that's what made me realize, like, dude, we're all the same. Like, we're all here for the same thing.
Exactly.
So do not sit in the lobby by yourself or sit in your car or sit in your room. The best part of Legion's Cons comes when the doors are closed and you're
Yes.
in the lobby or you're eating dinner or you're hanging out by
Yes.
somebody. Oh, and also don't be afraid to like ask if you can tag along. If somebody says, "Hey, we're going out to go eat dinner and we're driving off property," ask if it's okay if you can tag along. Like, I think you and Bill Dorklair and Jared like went toy hunting and
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
went to
Yeah.
Target or something.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. We're gonna do it again too, man. So
Yeah.
yeah, don't be shy. I know it's a lot of people's default to be shy, but this is your time to really make some great relationships and some great friends. And we all have one thing in common, that we love these toys. So that's what we're here for. That's what we have something, we have common ground to talk about something. Would you pick up?
Very few people live that close to Whippany, New Jersey, to that they just didn't know what was going on and they popped in for the day. They wanted to go check it out. Like, they had heard about it. Like, no, 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 no. There are people flying from London. There are people flying from Sweden. There are people who are flying from California. I am flying from Florida. There are people driving in from all over. Like, people don't accidentally show up here. They're here for a reason. And let me flip it around the other way. Let me flip it the other way. If you see somebody sitting alone somewhere, and they're literally just sitting there by themselves. And you can tell the difference. Like, you can tell if somebody's like, I'm on my phone, I've got my AirPods in, don't bother me. Right? Like, you know that person, right? They're like, they're engrossed in their phone. They don't want to be bothered. If they got, especially if they got an earpod. I mean, I think that's like the universal sign for leave me alone. Right. But if you see somebody just sitting there and they're just like, they're holding a figure and they're just like checking it out and they're just looking at it or whatever, and they're by themselves, walk up to them, introduce yourself, ask them what's their favorite thing they've purchased. Like, just break that ice, make them feel loved and welcomed. That's what you did to me. And even if that's not the type of person you are, like if you're not like that, just walk up to somebody outgoing kind of person, try it out. See it. It's not going to hurt. You know, this isn't the Sadie Hawkins day dance in 8th grade where nobody wants to go up and ask somebody to dance. It's not gonna, there's no rejection here. If you see somebody sitting alone, walk up and sit down with them, hang out, talk with them, and just, you never know, dude. Like, I have met people that I was sitting there talking to them and they're like, yeah, I know who you are. We watch your channel all the time. And I'm like, why didn't you start with that? Like, right. Like, I'm sitting here talking to you like I don't even know you and you don't know me. And like all of a sudden you're like, no, we watch your, like that happened with Marty Max and his wife. Like, I was sitting there talking with them. I had no idea that they knew who I was. Like, it's like, yeah, I watch your channel. I'm like, what? Like, get out of town.
Say what?
Get out of here.
So yeah, I had sat down before you came, and I probably sat there for 30 minutes and no one came up to me. And I didn't really know anyone at the time. So like you coming was like kismet. It was like meant to be because I was like, maybe I'll go up to my room and hang out and make a sandwich or something. And then I saw you kind of over by the pub area. That's where my table was. And I'm like, I'll say what's up to this guy. This guy kind of seemed like he, doesn't have anywhere to go either. So, hey, I've got a table here. Come and hang out. And then,
Hey, dude, that ended up being a great, because we had Eric Miller come up and sit down our table, and then Emil came up and sat down. Dude, it turned out to be yeah, it was that was a great, yeah, it's still one of my favorite memories. Probably my favoriteest memory from LegionsCon. Let's see what we got next. What's up in the slides? More than shopping. All right, this is a good one. There's so much more than just shopping. We've got live streams, there are podcasts, there's RPG sessions, there's the 1000 Swigs, there's the lobby hangouts. This is sent in to us by our buddy Terrence. I love how I pretend like these were mailed in on a postcard. These were sent in to us.
right.
There's so much going on. Greg and I will have a live stream, not a live stream. We're not doing a live stream, but we're going to have a live viewing of our show. It's a live show that we're putting on. We're going to do a little bit of double jointed. So we're going to have a little bit of like toy and commercial and cartoon trivia that we're going to put together. We're going to be giving out some, let me grab one of these.
Very exciting.
These are from Death and Plastic, action figure armory on, let me embiggen myself.
And pretty sure no one else has these.
No one else has these. He's going to be selling the tunics and tabards online next year. These are wired, but he has sent us some. We're going to do some, but this is an exclusive. He sent us about 10 of these. I'm going to give some of these away at the live show. So you definitely want to, come and check that out. And then we're going to transition into an episode of your show, New to Mythics, where why don't you, because we didn't talk about this yesterday on Double Jointed, why don't you tell the fine folks at home who is going to be our guest on Mythics?
It's tentative. They did agree to it, but we're going to have my good friend Sumya Das, who is the creator and the guy that did the concepts and everything for the hero font, the what is it called? Help me.
It's like the Legend of Rama.
Ramayan, yeah, Ramayan. Sorry, I drew a blank. Legends of Ramayan. Really, really nice guy. His second Kickstarter has started, and
figures are out now. You can get them on Big Bad Toy Store.
Right. The first wave is out. Second wave is coming. But really nice guy. He's gonna come and he'll probably show off some of his finished second wave figures. And then also Quaid Kundle and his wife Abigail are coming, and they are part of they're doing the Kickstarter for the Corsair Creations, which is like a pirate toy line, which is a really cool toy line. So
both of these toy lines were sculpted by the Four Horsemen.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good
So
people.
these are the two creators.
Yep. So they're going to come and we'll give them a platform to kind of talk about what's going on with their waves and when their Kickstarter is going to start. So just kind of giving a showcase to people that are creative and have something going on, and I want to share what they're about.
Now that's Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
It's going to be upstairs on the third floor at
Third floor,
6 p.m.
6
You
p.m.
don't know the room yet, the room number. I don't think so. Do we? Do you know?
No, I
Okay,
don't.
we'll get that. And then you can just ask around and people will tell you. But we're not the only one. There's going to be the My Wife Is Going to Kill Me podcast. It's
Right.
going to be there.
Yeah.
Lots of live streams and podcasts. Purple
Purple
Gang guys are going to be there getting up to
Friday night.
shenanigans.
Yep.
The upcoming Four Horsemen RPG that is going to be on Kickstarter next year is going to be holding RPG sessions throughout the day. I'm going to participate in one at 3 p.m. So at 3, I'm going to be in with Terrence and a bunch of others, and they're going to walk us through, I think, like a 30-minute or a 45-minute campaign or something. There is the 1,000 Swigs that Terrence and Gina help promote. Now, what this is in the mystery boxes last year that they overproduced swigs. There were way too many. So Terrence wrote that. I mean, not Terrence. Jeremy wrote that into the story about there being swigs. He took a potion, created a whole bunch of different swigs. And so right now we're, they're going to, I don't think it's actually 1,000 swigs, but they're trying to get to 1,000 swigs. We have a lot. And then, so that's going to be going on. So bring your custom swig. It doesn't even have to be custom, really. Just do some part swaps, pop swaps, do some lazy boy customs on your swig and bring it in, or go buck wild and crazy and bring us your Emil creations swig. You'll go upstairs, you'll check it in. They'll put your name on it, make sure that it doesn't get lost or whatever. And then there will be a big, hangout. There's going to be a big photography. I don't know if they're going to do a contest this year and do any giveaways. I don't know. Last year they did, but
yeah, I believe there's giveaways. There's a raffle and a giveaway. There's some sponsors like Detour Customs and Wolf King. And Custom Sale. Yeah, there'll be giveaways and stuff.
Curtis says, take it all in, get pictures and or journal your experiences to look back on them later. Yes, absolutely. You're going to take a ton of photos. I think Heinrich had a really good idea. It's like dump as many photos off your phone as possible because you're going to be adding so much more. And videos, you're going to be getting people's numbers or Instagram tags or handles or whatever. You're going to, and then why don't you talk about this? There's so much that goes on after hours. It's like a huge mythic party. You don't want to miss it. That's pretty much what we were just talking about. The long tanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Don't go upstairs. If you are, freshen up, get some deodorant, pop a Tic Tac, come back down, bring your wallet. There is after hours stuff. Like there's people hanging out at the pub. There's my friend Jackie, Colin, Stoat. They all have ice chests and are happy to share their drinks. People are reminiscing, they're hanging out, they're talking about G-Con, the big reveals. People have figures on the table.
I think we forgot to mention there's a whole outside with a fire pit and a fireplace, and all of that's going on outside. But again, you're going to want to wear some warm clothes and bundle up so that you're warm enough. But there is like a really nice fire pit area out there. They'll have the fire pit going. You can hang out out there. Yeah, there's a lot of fun. Some people leave because the pub just gets overcrowded. So some people go off site to go and eat dinner or go get drinks. There will be people set up in different locations in the hallway, like drinking to all hours. Just be respectful. Just remember that there are other people staying in the hotel too. Keep the volume down. I've heard before that people are on the first, second, and third floors of the hotel can hear you in the lobby.
They get loud, for sure.
It can get really loud. I would suggest also bringing like some earplugs, or I sleep with AirPods in every night anyway. Like I have a sleep mask that has speakers in it, so I can't.
You're a little diva.
I am, dude. I got my CPAP machine and my sleep mask and Bluetooth speakers.
My snoring canceled out all of the other noise, so I can't hear
You're not waking me up. Yeah, I'd have to be on fire or a bear chewing my leg off for me to.
But yeah,
I
it's a
take a
great
punch or nice sleep.
it's a great time.
Some,
You know, I was up till 2 or 3 every night, just having the time of my life and the conversations that I'll never forget.
yeah, I
Just
mean, especially this
lit
year. I mean, our group has grown, like our own personal chat group has grown immensely because of last year at LegionsCon. And like this year, I mean, I can't wait. Like I am more excited to sit down with you and Terrence and Heinrich and his wife Anna and Brian and John and Aaron and Blake and
yeah.
like all of our friends on the show.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, just to like sit and chop it up and talk to these people that I'm constantly talking to you guys every day. Like we talk every single solitary day, all day long, but it's not the same as being in person
Right.
and seeing your faces
A
and
lot of hugs.
there's just, yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. We're getting down to the last few. Transport your treasures. Heinrich had a really good one. How to carry all your treasures. You plan on buying a lot? Bring a wagon, a wife,
Yes.
partner, a pack mule,
Yes.
several large bags and or boxes. Are you flying? You can't, you have to ship your stuff home or bring an extra suitcase with lots of bubble wrap, tape, and boxes. Are you driving? Bring a storage container for your car. This is what I was going to talk about earlier, and I said, no, we're going to get to that later, so I'll bring it back up. If you're planning on buying a lot of heads, what you're going to want to do is bring yourself some bubble wrap and maybe a couple of like hard boxes or Ziploc
Right.
bags.
You want
Because
to
when
catch
you
those.
when you buy a head, what's going to happen is they're going to take it off of the little thing and they're going to hand it to you and you're going to be like, got it. Now this thing is custom painted. You just paid $35 for it.
Mhm.
What are you going to do with this? You
Right.
stick it in your pocket and you're going to put your keys in there and change and these things get scratched up. No, what you want to do is bring yourself some Ziploc bags, some bubble wrap or like a hard
Yes.
box, like a small box, you know, but
Pencil
a cardboard box or something. Yeah. Put all your stuff in there. And it just, you know, it's all based on whether or not like I fly, so I can't take anything home with me. I have to ship it, but
Check
you
your
drive. So what do you do? What's your recommendations for driving with all
Yeah,
your product?
the horsemen are always happy to give their boxes. They're opening boxes by the
Like
hundred
crazies.
to you know, provide us with fresh stuff. So just ask them. They're happy to give boxes out. Get a box. I have a cart that I bring with me. It's like an old man cart. My buddy Brett has a wagon. Um, save your back. Don't call your wife a mule, but you know, have her mule stuff for you. She can carry things or at least run them to the car or to the room upstairs, whatever. Just be smart. You know, I like I said, I use the boxes that the horsemen give me. I have a table this year, so I've got bins and things that I'll have to keep track of and everything. But
What's your table and are you're set up in the hallway, right?
set up in the hallway, table 92. I'll be near the Corsair Creations and the Ramayan tables. So yeah, come see us outside in the hallway. But yeah, you want to take care of your investments, especially those customs that you're paying big dollars for, head sculpts. Make sure you protect those and bring them home. So
If you are not staying at the hotel, so if you're, let's say you're not fortunate enough to be staying at the Hanover Marriott, let's say that you're staying off site. Let's say you don't have a car. Let's say that you are riding in every day. You're either Ubering from the hotel that you're staying or you're riding with a friend. So let's say you don't have a hotel room and you don't have a car and you're buying a lot of stuff. What do you do? What I would recommend is hook up with somebody that you know that you're very familiar with. All right.
yes,
I don't think anybody in the cabal would ever take this type of advantage of somebody, but connect with somebody that you're very familiar with. Last year, you and Andy were sharing a room. I did not have a car. Our friends would drop us off every day. So I was in this position last year and I would bring all of my stuff up to your room. And I was dropping all of my stuff. I would fill up my bag and I'd bring it up to your room and set it down. I'd fill up your bag and I was constantly finding with you. Yeah, I was finding either you or Andy, and I was getting a key card, and I would come back up and I'd give you. So hook up with somebody that you know that you're very familiar with, they will let you store your stuff in their room. And so that way, then later on, but make sure it's somebody that you can find easily, because you may be like, hey, I got to get out of here. It's 4 o'clock and all my stuff's up in your room.
Right.
You got to be able to find them so you can get up there and get your stuff. But yeah, do that for sure. My friends know that me and Pamela are going to have a room. So like anybody that wants to use our room, just find me. You can use our room and I'll let you in to like drop your stuff off. So it's fine. Yeah. So you definitely want to do that. If you have your own car, you're probably taking stuff out to your car. So yeah, that's a good one. Transporting your stuff, Heinrich. Thanks for that. Next to the last one, here's some do nots. Let's go over some. We've been talking everything about that you can do. Let's go over some stuff that you can't do. Okay.
Sure.
Don't buy and sell in the lobby. This is the only rule. This is the only big rule, right? Do not buy and sell in the lobby. This is not one of those shows with a lobby room lobby or room sales. You don't want to get thrown out or get an angry email from Sir Gerard. That's Jeremy. That's sent in to us from Heinrich. And I think this is really cool. Yeah. The reason behind this is that you have got vendors that they paid, like you guys, like you have a table, you've paid money for a table, right? Like you've paid a couple or $300 to rent a table to sell your stuff.
Right.
If you come up there and you've got, hey, guys, we're hanging out in the lobby, let me bring in these 4 or 5 tubs of mythics and I'm going to sell them, right? Well, what you just did is you undercut everybody who paid for tables in the room. Like, don't be that dude, right? Don't be that dude. Also, don't do this, because if I see this, I'll call you straight out on it. Don't buy an exclusive that's now sold out and then be in there trying to sell it to somebody else for more money.
Yeah, that's a worm. That's a wormy thing.
That's a jive turkey all day.
It's a jive turkey.
We call out jive turkeys. Yeah, that's not, because you are already going to have vendors, and I don't think I've ever seen this at LegionsCon, but I have seen it at other toy shows, who will go and buy a figure off the Four Horsemen table and then take it over, like an exclusive, then take it over their table and mark it up. There's not those types of vendors here. That's not going to happen. So don't be that person.
Right.
This is why they don't want sales.
See your spectacles.
Yeah. Or the lobby. Yeah. You don't be that. Don't be a worm. Don't be a jive turkey. Also, here's a good one from Heinrich. Don't spend all of your money on day one. Don't do it.
That sucks.
Like, set aside for money, because like we said earlier in the show, there's a possibility that people were holding stuff back on day 2, and they're going to put stuff out on day 2. Also, for Horsemen, they are going to have their exclusives are available on either day. They've already made that very clear, because some people can only drive in for the day and they don't want them to miss out on day 2 exclusives. So they're not doing day 1, day 2 exclusives. It also doesn't really matter, because they would have so many left over that you could still buy day 1 exclusives on day 2. There was
yeah. Plus, I mean, we're all refreshing our tables on the second day. So even the Horsemen, they're constantly refreshing their tables. But the vendors also, we bring enough stuff to make sure that there's plenty of stuff for everyone, but it's going to be different than it was the day before.
Yeah, so definitely you want to hold back, spend your money on your must-haves, like the things we talked about, right? Like your must-haves. So spend that money on day 1, but then hold some of that money back, because you never know what's going to happen on day 2. And you don't want to be that person that's blowing all of your money, and now on day 2, you're just moping around. You're just like, man, that's dope, but I can't get it because you spent all your money. Hold some of that back. Now,
I'm back.
I've already talked about this. But my do not be shy.
Right.
Walk up to a stranger and just start talking. You never know who you might just meet. You might meet your future best friend. And don't be afraid to approach the 4-H guys or any YouTubers. You're probably going to see Robo. You're probably going to see Toy Galaxy. You're going to see Toy Bro. All of these guys, Dan Larson, I was trying to think of Dan's name, Dan Larson, Jared Ellswick, and Bill Dorklayer. Robo, just goes by Robo.
Really nice people.
Do not ask Robo what his real name is. He's only going to tell you Robo. That's for sure.
It's disappointing though when you hear it. Just know that it's Robo.
It's Robo. He said, my mom calls me Robo. He's like, my name is Robo. He's like, it's not on my license, and it's not on my birth certificate, but my mom calls me Robo. walk up to these people. They have all been so friendly and so
100%.
talkative. Okay. They are so well, let me say, not talkative. They're not all talkative, but they're all friendly and they're all open and they're all very
Approachable.
giving of they're approachable. They're all very giving with their time. They're all of those guys. Emil, oh my God,
Yeah.
Emil, one of the best customizers in the game, is one of my favorite people to sit and talk to. He's so open and friendly and
Yes.
generous with his time. They're all just like us, man. Do not be afraid of them. They're like, please do not treat me like a celebrity. They're like, do not do that. Like Dan Larson is this like the most down to earth person. He's like, I'm not a celebrity. I'm just a dude coming to a toy show. Like, so we've gone over your don'ts. These are the things you do not do, do not do, do not do. But hey, you know what we do want you to do? Terrence the Wise says prioritize experiences over purchases. And this was not something that he sent in. This was something he said in our chat as we were just talking to
Very wise. Very wise.
we were just talking to a buddy, and that's all we were doing. And he said this, and it was something that hit me personally because I get hung up on what am I getting? How much money am I bringing? Am I bringing enough money? What happens if I run out of money? I better not bring my card to spend money that I don't have. My wife is going to be with me this year, so she's watching the money. I get so caught up in that that I forget this.
Yes.
And so prioritize your experiences over your purchases because let me tell you, 10 years from now, you've got a tub of mythics that you don't even display anymore, probably. You may not pull out a Mythic Legions figure and be like, oh, I remember that I bought this in 2025 off of this table and I spent $65 on this figure. But I guarantee you, you will have a memory or a photograph of a
100%.
time when you sat with somebody and hung out with them and the things you talked about, the friends you made, me and you,
Right.
like that's what you're going to remember. So
100%.
prioritize that over what you're buying,
I agree. I
right?
agree.
You have anything to add on that?
No, I think that's totally, totally accurate. I still cherish all the memories that I had. I took a ton of pictures, and I like to just go through them and remember. And every once in a while, I'll throw up a picture in the chat, of all the different people that I have pictures with, and just remember, like this is the best. These are the best times. So yeah, I think we'll end up
Emil,
a lot.
Emil, Emil singing, leading the entire lobby in a song. The year before in 23, the couple that were getting married at that hotel
Right.
that weekend, and they walked in, and all of us are in the lobby. You've got 125 people that all look like me and you,
Right.
and we just all stand up and congratulate them and sing, or
Treadway holding the dragon.
right. 2 years ago, we left on Monday morning and I got up and had breakfast in the with the four horsemen guys. Like I sat in there and ate with um uh uh Eric and like Jeremy was in there and Walter from the cabal, and like we all had breakfast together. There was a bunch of other people in there. It's like I shouldn't be allowed in here to eat with them, and I was like, that was so cool. Like all of those things are what this is all about. It's not about, again, we've already said you can get the exclusives later. Like it's cool to come home with them, but you're going to come home with so much more. But that's all I got, man. That's all I got. Those are, thanks to our chat. Thanks for Terrence for thinking this was a really good idea for us to do.
Absolutely.
Like we agreed. We thought it was a really good
Yeah.
idea.
Have
Thanks
fun.
to Andy and Curtis and Terrence and Heinrich and you for like sending in all of the ideas and bombarding our mail department downstairs.
Right.
Lisa in the mailing department had so many to
Absolutely.
go through, vet them all out. So
And this
that's going to
is
be our show.
this says Triumph too, by the way, not
Yeah.
anything else. Motorcycles Triumph. I just want to make
Yeah.
sure that people understood that. And I want to say have fun. That's what
I
it's
wasn't going to bring that up on camera.
well,
I
people
brought it
are
up
like,
to you.
what? But yeah,
I brought it up to you before.
I've hit this LegionsCon.
We're down 12 days, man. 12 days. 12 days, and I'm gonna have my arms around your neck. and not in a
happening.
not in an angry
Not
way.
at all. Not at all. It's happening.
So,
Oh, no.
if by any chance you guys watch this and you say, "Man, they made egregious mistakes here. They forgot to mention this, whatever," please put them down in the comments. Let us know what we forgot. If you have questions, ask us. Either we'll answer them or somebody else, some nosy one of our friends will answer it.
And
Yeah,
and say hi to us.
yeah.
If you actually watch this show and know maybe who this guy is, come say hi. You know, like we would love. I never have
I
enough
don't
friends.
walk in the lobby and people go, "Mark." No, you walk in the lobby and people are like, "Smurb." Like, it's different.
Modest. He's being modest. This guy. But come up to us. I never have enough friends. I would love to know.
Right.
Come on up.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good. I always tell everybody, if you see me out at the show, come up and give me a high five or a fist bump. We're doing it. So yeah, if you have any questions, let us know in the comments down below. We'll definitely get to them. We'll answer them, and we will see you guys very soon. Not in the toy house, but at LegionsCon. So,
That's right.
see you later, guys.
Thank you.